Hey guys, it's Vanessa with Up and Growing, and we're going to be doing a reindeer using a piece of the green floral foam from the Dollar Tree. I want to make it taller, so I just measured up the bottom with my cookie cutter and just cut a piece of styrofoam. And then I just want to smooth out the edges, make sure that the top piece is nice and perfect with the bottom piece. And then I'm going to be using my foam clay. I'm going to add a little bit of super glue and then cover our styrofoam with the clay. So I'm just going to start out and I'm going to work my way around, pushing all that clay close to the foam. And I'm going to remove my excess clay and then close off the bottom. You guys want to make sure that you're not just using your fingers, because you want to remove any air that is in that between the clay and the styrofoam. And now I'm just going to use a chippy brush and give it some texture. And I'm just going to use a cookie cutter to make the smile. I'm just marking down where I want to attach my resin eyes. And then I am using those little peppermint stickers from Hobby Lobby. Make her little expression lines around her eyes. And then we're going to make her nose using some red clay. I start with a nice smooth ball and then I kind of make it into an oval. And I'm going to make her ears. I'm going to roll out 2 of the same size balls. And then again, kind of like a teardrop, putting pressure just on one side on both of them. And then I'm just going to use my fingers to make the inside of the ear. And then I'm going to be using a lighter color for the inside color of her ear. Same thing, just small balls, little teardrops, and then put them right in there. And then I'm just going to shape the ear. I kind of pinch off the end of it and then just shape it as we attach it to her head. Now I'm going to be using the darker brown. I'm going to use this color for her hair and for her antlers. So again, it's just kind of teardrops long. I'm going to put that little hair right between her eyes, and then I'm going to make her another piece of hair. It's going to be a little smaller than that one. So then for the antlers, you can start out with all the same size balls and go from there. I like to do 2 bigger ones because we need 2 sets of antlers, and 4 smaller ones. I like the tops of them to be flat, and then I'm just going to cut the bottom. And then I'm going to be using this little knife to give it some texture. You can use a toothpick. And then I let those antlers dry flat overnight. These are a dry set. And now I'm going to add a skewer with some hot glue right down into my foam. I'm not going to be putting my antlers flush to the head because I do want to add some boa. So I'm going to leave some of the skewer exposed because I don't want to just glue the boa to the clay. I'm going to use that piece that I leave exposed for my boa. I'm of course going to add some super glue to attach my antlers. And then I'm just going to get them in position, leaving a piece of that exposed. I'm going to be using some red boa. I get the red one at Hobby Lobby. So that's where I'm going to be attaching with hot glue. And here she is. I just love it. And then I want to add some little white dripping to her antlers and to her nose. You guys can use clay. You can also just tap it with some of your lightweight spackle. I want to attach a little bit of sprinkles. I showed you guys how to do those cookies. I hope I've inspired you guys. I think she is so sweet.